kick off today's talk, let me share a story that happened quite a while ago. I was driving home from work on a busy highway in Los Angeles. If you've ever driven in LA during rush hour, you know it's a jungle out there. Cars weaving in and out, everyone trying to shave a few minutes off their commute. I was in my proper lane, driving at a steady pace, when suddenly a guy in a pickup truck cut me off without signaling. I had to slam on the brakes to avoid a collision, and my heart was racing. Now I'm usually pretty calm behind the wheel, but this got under my skin. As I passed the guy, I rolled down my window and shouted, "Hey, use your blinker next time." I wasn't expecting an apology, but his response caught me off guard. He yelled back, "Mind your own business, buddy," and threw in a few choice words I won't repeat here. That exchange left me fuming for the rest of the drive. Even after I got home, I couldn't shake the frustration. I kept thinking, that guy was totally in the wrong, and he had the nerve to yell at me. It wasn't until a couple of days later, when I was stuck in traffic again, that I started reflecting on what happened. That moment of clarity led me to a powerful lesson about controlling my emotions, one I'm excited to share with you today. Let's break down what happened. In that moment on the highway, I was convinced I was right, and the other driver was wrong. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized my reaction made things worse. In our daily lives, we face countless situations that can trigger negative emotions. A coworker throwing shade in a meeting, a slow barista holding up your coffee order, or someone cutting you off in traffic. If we let these moments dictate how we feel, we're handing over control of our happiness to strangers or circumstances. Here's the truth. We can't control what other people do or say, but we can control how we think and act. Emotions might feel like they're ours to command, but they're often influenced by the world around us. If we don't learn to manage them, we're at the mercy of every annoying driver or rude comment. That's why I want to talk about emotional freedom, the ability to stay calm, focused, and happy, no matter what life throws at you. From that highway incident, I developed a straightforward two-step formula that's helped me stay in control of my emotions. It's not rocket science, but it works. The steps are: think about the other person and think about yourself. Let's unpack them. Step 1. Think about the other person. When something frustrates you, your first instinct is to focus on yourself. Why did they do that to me? This isn't fair. That mindset traps you in anger or self-pity. Instead, try putting yourself in the other person's shoes and imagine why they acted the way they did. In my highway story, I later thought, maybe that guy was having a rough day. Maybe he was rushing to pick up his kid from school or stressed about a work deadline. I don't know if that's true, and it doesn't have to be. The point is, by considering his perspective, I felt less angry and more empathetic. It was like a weight lifted off my chest. Let's apply this to other situations. Say you're stuck in a long line at a coffee shop, and the barista is moving at a snail's pace. Instead of fuming, think, maybe they're new and still learning the ropes. Or if a coworker snaps at you during a meeting, consider they might be under pressure from a big project. When you empathize with others, the situation feels less personal, and your frustration starts to fade. Step 2. Think about yourself. This step might sound contradictory, but it complements the first one perfectly. After thinking about the other person, take a hard look at yourself. Not to feel sorry for yourself, but to ask, did I do anything to contribute to this? Could I have handled it better? In my case, I realized I wasn't blameless. Yelling out my window didn't exactly de-escalate the situation. If I'd just taken a deep breath and let it go, I could have avoided the whole argument and saved myself a lot of stress. Recognizing my role helped me let go of the anger and learn for next time. Try this in other scenarios. If someone cuts you off in traffic, ask yourself, was I tailgating or distracted, making it easier for them to cut in? If a coworker criticizes you unfairly, think, did I miss a chance to communicate clearly and avoid this misunderstanding? Even if your mistake was minor, owning it gives you a sense of control and helps you move on. Why this formula works? This two-step approach works because it shifts your focus from winning an argument to finding peace. There's a great saying I love, would you rather be right or be happy? In most cases, proving you're right isn't worth the emotional toll. By thinking about the other person and reflecting on your own actions, you reframe the situation in a way that empowers you to let go of negativity. It's not about ignoring your feelings, it's about choosing how you respond. Mastering your emotions isn't about suppressing them or pretending everything's fine. It's about taking charge of how you feel, so you can navigate life's ups and downs with confidence. When you achieve emotional freedom, no one, not a reckless driver, a grumpy coworker, or a bad day, can steal your joy. You become more resilient, more empathetic, and better equipped to succeed in a competitive world. Like any skill, this takes practice. At first, it might feel unnatural to pause and think about the other person or admit your own flaws, but stick with it. Every time you face a frustrating moment, apply these 2 steps. Over time, it'll become second nature, and you'll notice a big difference in how you handle stress. So here's what it all comes down to. Emotional freedom isn't a personality trait, it's a skill. And just like any skill, it needs awareness, effort, and repetition. That one heated exchange on the highway taught me more about myself than I could have imagined. Not because the moment was dramatic or life-changing in any external sense, but because it held up a mirror. It showed me how easily I could let someone else hijack my peace, simply because I hadn't yet learned how to hold on to it myself. We go through life believing that if we just fix the world around us, get people to drive better, speak nicer, move faster, we'll finally feel calm. But peace doesn't come from controlling others, it comes from controlling ourselves. And that's where the real power is. When you learn to pause before reacting, to imagine the story behind someone else's behavior, to own your own energy instead of blaming others, you stop living at the mercy of the world. You stop being emotionally tossed around by every honk, every harsh word, every delay, every unfair moment. Instead, you become the one behind the wheel, not just on the road, but in your life. Imagine the freedom in that. Imagine going through your day without carrying emotional baggage from the person who snapped at you at work. Imagine walking away from conflict without bitterness in your chest. Imagine being able to smile, genuinely, even after something frustrating, because you know it no longer has power over you. That's not weakness. That's mastery. You'll still get angry sometimes. You'll still feel hurt. This isn't about becoming a robot or denying your emotions. It's about being able to hold them without letting them control you. It's about recognizing that you have a choice in how you respond, and in that choice lies your liberation. Every moment of frustration is a crossroads. You can choose the default path, react, escalate, internalize, or you can choose the intentional path, pause, reflect, redirect. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. And the truth is, this doesn't just benefit you, it ripples outward. When you're able to stay grounded, you create calmer relationships, stronger conversations, safer spaces for others to grow. You model for your kids, your friends, your coworkers what emotional strength looks like. And perhaps, in a world that's constantly rushing and reacting, your calm presence might just be someone else's anchor. So the next time life throws a little chaos your way, whether it's a reckless driver, a passive-aggressive email, or a friend who let you down, take a breath. Remember the 2 steps. Think about them, then think about you. Not to excuse the behavior, not to shame yourself, but to understand, to reframe, and ultimately, to release. That's how you reclaim your power. That's how you protect your peace. Because in the end, it's not about who cut you off. It's about who you choose to be behind the wheel. I hope you found this video helpful. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to hit the like button. It might seem like a small thing, but because of how the YouTube algorithm works, videos with more likes tend to get shown to more people. So your like really helps this video reach others who might need it too. And if you find my content valuable, consider subscribing. It really helps more people discover it. Thanks for watching, and I wish you and your family good health and peace. See you in the next video.